Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Lichtspear. I don't know very much German. The only German I know is Ich bin ein Kartoffeln, and even I know that the gratuitous German in this game is exactly that. So, Lickspear is ridiculous. It is a ridiculous game and you will see why shortly. There's not much you can change in the way of controls, but you can choose to aim one of 3 different ways, which may be to your benefit. And you can even change the sensitivity of the options of the rear touchpad and the touchscreen, which is a really nice thing. I wouldn't expect to see sensitivity options for those, but, well, they give them to you anyway, and that's great. And you can also change the sensitivity of the left stick, which I do recommend doing. The default is just a bit too sensitive, but, I mean, it's there if you want it. And you've also got the sound effects and the music volume. And while it doesn't feel 100% right not to play this game in bloody German, we're going to be playing it in English anyway. There's not that much to say. You probably could play this in German, realistically. Just because the game is relatively simple. You do have leaderboards that you can do, and how the hell am I number 4? How did I do that? I'm not good at games. How is this a thing? Well then again, I actually beat that guy on a level. Wait, why do I have 2 scores? Never mind. Let's just continue the game, shall we? This is after about an hour and a half of game time? A little bit more, a little bit less? And I'm currently on level 8. There are 13 levels in the game, and there's a second difficulty mode which rearranges all the locations of monsters and all that. Every two stages is a new theme, and there's a boss at the end of every second stage. So we'll be going to the Das Old Tower. They all start with, well, they don't all start with Das, but some of them do start with Dash. It's kind of silly. And you can come here and see the leaderboards again, and you can also come and check out your powers. Your powers are different things that you can buy, and they can all do different things. So, for example, the Licht Ray fires a beam in front of you that takes out every enemy there. There's a shield. There's the ability to slow down time, which I'm actually going to equip just for the purpose of demonstration. And I'm also going to equip the Licht Column. I haven't even tried to use this yet, but we'll wait and see how it works. And once I beat a stage, I'll come back and I'll put these power-ups on. You use, rather relevantly, LSD to buy these. They call it, they just call it Space Bucks. There is a name for that anagram, but not anagram, that abbreviation, but of course it just stands for Space Bucks. So that's pretty much it. We can just hop straight into the stage now. You've got objectives, but they are like actual objectives, as you can see down the bottom there. They aren't, what's the word? They aren't like mobile games where you just have to do well enough to get 3 stars. No, you have to do specific goals. Like, at least 120 headshots is pretty hard in this game, but we'll give it a shot anyway, because this is a game where you want to get headshots. So this is Lickspear. I describe it as, I don't want to call it single tower defense, but I just want to say that's kind of like what it is, more or less. So, the idea is, you are this man here, Das Mann, and he has been given Das Lichtspear, and he must use it to destroy Das enemies. I just got a lisp there, that's not even German. And that is the basic idea of it. You have the spear, and you hold the X button, and once you've held down the X button, it will charge up the power, you let go of it, it throws the spear. Depending on how long you hold it for, it will determine its power, and you can also aim it using, of course, the left analog stick, or whatever. Wow, I died on the first stage, that's a good start. And you can also aim it up and down, and in some parts of the stage, left or right, using the touchscreen. They've just dropped a speed box, which is very bad, which is why I'm going to use my power there. But anyway, the basic spear, like, even without the powers, the basic spear is really good. Like, it has weight to it. The flight arc makes perfect sense. Just the general feel of the spear as it goes flying into your enemies, into Das enemies, it's brilliant. Like, it's such a simple thing, I get that, but to do something simple really well is to show that you understand what the hell you're doing when it comes to making a game about throwing spears, and having the spear work as well as it does is just fantastic. It makes the game so satisfying to play because you feel like you earned every headshot. Headshots are a very big part of this game. If you've been watching closely, you'll notice that every headshot you get not only gives you a 1 or 2 of a combo, like for example you can see 2 times headshot there, which earns you bonus points both while you're in the stage and at the end of the stage, but it also earns you points towards a combo meter up in the top left represented by a percentage, and the more headshots you get without missing a shot on that percentage will give you more points in the stage. Which is very useful indeed, because this game is very good for score attacking, considering just how much precision is well and truly needed in order to get those headshots. So it is a very simple... Shit. Well, again, that's a good start. I just got eaten alive. I really need to use my other powers. The problem with every power except the attacking one is that I tend to forget they're there, which kind of sucks for me. No, that didn't really help me out. That's unfortunate. But anyway, I might as well talk about the powers now, just while I'm on mentioning them. But the way the powers work... Oh wow, really? Okay, so that doesn't work the way I was expecting it to at all. That's a bit odd. Alright, but whatever. So, the way the powers work is you get the points, you take the points that you've earned at the end of every stage and you use them to buy power-ups. And these power-ups can be upgraded 3 times individually each, and they all have their own special effect. Like, for example, you've already seen the bomb and the slow time, or at least that's supposed to be slow time, but I think it's just literally you throw as many spears as you can. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe I misread the description, but I thought that was the slow time one, but I guess not. Nevertheless, there is also a defensive power. The defensive power in this case is the Licked column, and I will show you what that looks like. Right. So it just fires off columns on both sides, which is okay. I mean, the other power-up you'll see, the defensive power-up, is a beam that just goes out horizontally, so much better for one-side defense. Wow, how did I get 100% combo there? I must be doing alright. One thing that I've really learned to appreciate about Lickspear is its fantastic attention to detail. Like, it's not particularly deep or even that impressive at times. Oh, come on, die, you stupid laser. Thank you. But, it's not even particularly deep or impressive, but there are just times when it's really impressive and it feels like you've really done what you actually did. Like, just to use as an example, if you shoot the regular zombies that just run across you on the ground in the head, their head will come off and they'll get tons of blood coming out of them, as to be expected. Hit them in the chest and they'll get knocked over. You'll feel the spear impacting them, and watching them fall over feels realistic. Hit them in the leg and they'll stumble. Like, see? Well, I think that was just too high to be counted as the leg. Like, these blue zombie guys here, they didn't used to be invulnerable below the neck. So whenever you hit them in the leg, like, they used to take 2 shots, and whenever you hit them below the neck, they used to just fall over. They just stumble. It was really nice to look at. And every enemy has a bunch of these animations, especially since you can headshot everyone. It takes a lot of effort, but you can headshot everyone. It's entirely possible. And not to mention, the graphical detail is fantastic. Like, all the different scrolling layers of backgrounds, how all the different enemies look. Since every time you swap to another area, you find the same enemies pretty much all the time, right? So you have to reskin all the enemies in order to make them fit the part. And they've done a fantastic job with that, too. Seeing every enemy in a new light because of the environment change is really nice. They've done a great job with just the way the game looks. Not to mention the theme is absolutely ridiculous. Like, all these enemies have different names. Like, all the bosses, which you're going to see one fairly shortly, have Das at the end of the name. They all have ridiculous names. There's a walrus that shows up from time to time. All sorts of just ridiculous shit that shows up. And of course, there is a bit of extra challenge in there, because if you miss more than 3 shots in a row, the Lichtspear god will get very angry with you and won't let you throw a spear for a little bit, which can definitely result in a bit of a problem. I have no idea how that power-up is supposed to work. Bit silly, but whatever, we'll work with it. The gameplay in these sections as well, where you have to fend off the enemies, which there are like 9 of in every 2 stages. Fairly varied too. You saw that I had to deal with both lasers that would slowly hunt me down if I didn't take out their power source. And you also saw that bloody hell. You saw that I had to deal with enemies coming from both sides at one point. There are a bunch of other things as well, like they'll put you on a slope. They'll put you before, like, some water, and there'll be fish jumping out of it, and there'll be, like, Vikings coming in on boats. You know, it's the same sort of enemies, but they'll be coming in on boats. And there's a lot of, like, just situations that they put you in that are really nice as well. They give you a lot of variety when it comes to all the different stages, which is nice, because just doing the game just by standing on the left, firing at the right would get quite boring after a while. So it's perfectly fine that it's actually really nice. It's not just perfectly fine, it's really nice that they've added a little bit of variety. Even being on the right, firing to the left is an unusual thing to happen in this game. Man, I'm not really doing too well here, am I? There's just a lot of fucking enemies. I really need to remember to pull out my triangle power-up when I'm about to get toasted. And to take out the mages, because the mages are a pain in the ass, but thanks to this big walking hunk of armor here that I mistook for a Nazi. Before he actually came into view properly. Well, yeah. I just threw a bomb, but I missed it, but thankfully I hit most of the stuff I wanted to hit anyway, so... not big deal. Shit. Yeah, I really don't understand how that power-up is supposed to work. Note to self, don't use that power-up again. Just stick to the square and triangle ones, and try not to miss the bombs. The bombs are very useful. As you can tell, the game is quite hard. It is definitely it's definitely not a cakewalk, especially on... They do have a New Game Plus mode for when you go through the games. I believe I read it was 13 stages in a review, so I'm about halfway through the game at this point. So yeah, this game's hard enough as it is. I can imagine it on New Game Plus mode being an absolute nightmare. It's alright, it's alright. I'm still in the game. Thankfully, the game is rather forgiving with its checkpoints, where you only have to redo a small part of the level, because the levels in this game are actually quite long. Like, you'll be looking at 10 minutes on average to clear the 5 stages that make up every individual level. It's a bit long. Just a little bit. Like, not too long, but it does start to wear you down a bit. Because this is, like, 10 minutes where you have to be on guard the entire time. Like, you barely get any chance to rest. Like, these little cutscenes here are basically all you get. Now let's fight a boss. I haven't actually fought this yet, so this might actually go really badly for me. Das Executive Golem. Can't say I'm surprised, considering there was a giant-ass robot before, but... Okay, I think they want me to hit these things. Oh no, these are teleporters, alright. Oh shit. Alright, oop. Okay, missed too many, and I died. Fantastic, alright. If I can't beat the boss, I'll just quit and I'll go back to a previous, I'll quit and I'll go back to a previous level. Just for the purpose of demonstration. Oh. Yep, I saw it coming just too late. This is me we're talking about. Wouldn't be me without a little bit of incompetence. Shit. Oh shit. I'm okay. Just barely made it. The bosses aren't as interesting as the main levels, just purely because of... Oh. Right, I didn't see that coming. Okay. The bosses aren't nearly as interesting as the main levels, just purely because of the amount of pattern recognition that you have to do with them. That, and you don't get any of your special powers while you're here. So you don't get any shield, you don't get any shields, you don't get any attack power-ups, you don't get any defense power-ups. It's a little bit disappointing, honestly. If only slightly. Seriously? Okay, so basically anytime the head moves, get the hell out of the way immediately and just watch for the arms to move. Okay, heads move, get out of the way. Right, I'm guessing I'm not going to be hitting that more than once. Oh, god damn it. Bosses, man, I tell ya. Oh, I knocked out one of the arms. Ah, damn it. If I'd let that charge up completely, I would have gone through. Nope, I didn't get... I didn't wait long enough to get out of the way of the... laser, so... Get out of the way of the laser. On the way back. Nope, I didn't wait long enough. Very basic. It's not difficult, it's just... Well, it is difficult, but it's basic pattern recognition, and I've always sucked at that. Right, I better get back under this. Okay. So it fires that. The arm raises? Yes. And now I can... Okay. One hand is partially destroyed. Get out of the way of that. Get out of the way. Wait for it to fire like that and pass through. This is a neat teleport mechanic. I wonder if they're going to use this in the later levels. Seems like something they'd use in the later levels as a sort of way to up the stakes a bit. That was close. Get out of the way. Down, throw one through so you're under the arm. Let's see what the arm does, get out of the way. Okay, this is interesting. How am I supposed to hurt it now that I don't have access to the arms? Alright, well, you've seen how a boss works, and I'm already 20 minutes in, so I don't want to spend too much longer on this, so we'll go back and we will play a previous stage. I'll go a little bit further back so it's not too hard. And I will equip the powers I said I was going to equip before. You need more LSD, yes. That is definitely a thing. So we'll just play this stage so you'll lose your progress on level 8. That's alright. So away we go again. The game can get rather repetitive, and that's definitely something like, here's the big giant I talked about. Yeah, see? Got him in the leg and so he stumbles, and there's also a flying enemy there that we didn't see in the previous stage. They do retire some enemies as well as bring in new ones, which is nice. Keeps the variety up. But as I was saying, the game can get repetitive. I can definitely see that being a thing. It's certainly not the most complicated concept. It is a very simple game. But this is just an overwhelmingly good example of how game feel can really contribute to a game. Like, even the simplest games with well-made systems can be satisfying to play even over long stretches. Like as you can very clearly see, just this spear is just a wonderful tool of death and destruction. It's fantastic. It really is. I should probably start using my power-ups a little more. Might make things go by a little bit faster. But there is also the issue of performance. Now, they delayed this game a bit to make sure the port was up to snuff, and for the most part it is. But on some of the heavier levels, you can definitely see the animations of the enemies start to chug a bit. It doesn't really affect the gameplay or the controls that much. It's just, it is noticeable when it starts to get a little bit sluggish. But it isn't really as big a deal as you might think. As you can see, this is a much easier level because they don't expect you to have upgraded power-ups by this point yet. That was the 3 spear, or I don't know what it's called, but it's probably called dust something. Because of course it is. But at the end of the day, I find it very hard not to recommend Lickspear. Like, this is a great game. It really is. I'm enjoying myself thoroughly with it. It is. I mean, I saw this game, like, this game came out a few months ago on, like, the PS4 and Steam, right? And, oh shit. Better put out my defensive shield for that one, but, alright, we're okay, we're alright. Although that next walrus is, nope, I managed to hit it on the way down. That's really satisfying. There's a bloody bunch of fish that tend to show up on these ice levels as well, and it's really satisfying to get them just, like, when they're jumping out of the water. Just because it just is. They've done a fantastic job with making the spears feel good, but yeah. I do not have a problem recommending Lickspear in the slightest. It is really good. They've made something simple, but really well polished and really well executed. The atmosphere is great. The controls work really well. The power-ups are great as well. The whole game is just... Gotcha. The whole game is just inherently satisfying on the same level as something like Dynasty Warriors, right? I don't know why they've got an elevator here, but they do. And considering that it took me an hour and a half to get through the first, like, half of the game, and there's a new game plus mode, so I could see this game lasting people 7 to 8 hours, so it's got a decent length on it. I can't really find that much wrong with it, except maybe the stages are a little bit long and sometimes the performance dips a bit. But nothing major. Like, not even close to major. It's great. Like, how often is it where I can... How often is it that I play a game that I can't criticize? At least not very heavily. I like it when I'm able to do that. It means I get to relax and actually play something good for once. Just all the blood is fantastic. Maybe if I can actually not miss shots, you might actually get to see them. Final level of the stage. This is where the fish start to show up. Also, Vikings using... Yes! I got him on his fall! Oh man, you don't get any bonus points for that, which I think is a shame. Like, you should get bonus points for hitting the fish while they're moving. Like, not just floating in the air or anything like that, but... Look at that, Penguin Vikings. They're adorable. You even see them in, like, airships, like you saw back in the previous stage and stuff like that. They just... The variety really is great. It's fun to play, like... I'm not even, like, a particularly big score attack buff or anything like that. I'm just... Bloody hell, those damn fish. I'm not even that much of a score attack buff. I'm just enjoying the game for being a fantastic feeling game. Nice and gory. Plenty of variety. And that's more than enough. We're done. Or are we? No, I'm pretty sure that's the end of the level. That was stage 5, wasn't it? Yeah, that was stage 5. We've gone off screen. Took me a lot less time to beat that than it usually would, just because I had all the power-ups at hand. I didn't even die, which is fantastic. I am Uba, which is fantastic. Yeah, Lickspear is great. I fully recommend it. I find very little to criticize about it, which is fantastic for once in my bloody life. So yeah, this has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.